boleh dikatakan dikenakan tindakan politik terhadap ahli parlimen. Dan saya bacakan nama-nama yang telah pun tersenarai dalam IPU. YB N. Surendran, YB Tarisa Kok, YB Khalid Samad, YB Rafizi Ramli, YB Chua Tian Chang, YB Ang Wei Ek, YB Teo Kok Siong, YB Nurul Izzah Anwar, YB Sibarasah Rasia, YB Sim Simin, YB Tony Kua, YB Chong Chien Jen, YB Julian Tan Kok Peng, YB Anthony Lok, YB Samsul Iskandar, YB Hatta Ramli, YB Michael Jayakumar Devraj, YB Ang Kok Ming, YB Tiong Niching. Dan mereka kebanyakannya, hampir semua, berada di luar sedang menunggu keputusan mahkamah selanjutnya. Ada yang sedang pending dan ada yang akan diambil tindakan selanjutnya. Namun pun begitu, ada 3 orang di kalangan ahli parlimen yang telah pun dikenakan tindakan dan dipenjarakan. Sebab itu kita berkumpul hari ini mendesak. Ini adalah keputusan IPU mendesak untuk menyatakan mereka ini ialah political prisoners. Sebab itu saya minta teman-teman bangun di kalangan MP untuk memegang plakat ini, dan media tolong. Ini ialah solidariti kita terhadap mereka. Mereka yang kita anggap sebagai penginayaan politik, bukanlah dikenakan di atas tindakan-tindakan jenayah ataupun apa-apa juga di bawah penakut. Tetapi ini ialah tindakan politik yang kita menuntut kerajaan yang sedang memerintah sekarang ini untuk membebaskan mereka cepat mungkin. Ini ialah solidariti untuk mereka yang ditahan. Sebab itu saya minta saudara mengangkat plakat dan kita meminta supaya bebaskan mereka. Bebaskan mereka. Bebaskan mereka. Ini adalah permintaan kita yang amat serius, kerana isu ini telah pun dibawa ke IPU dan IPU telah mengenal pasti bahawa mereka diiktiraf sebagai tahanan politik. Jadi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kita dengan rasa penuh duka cita amat bersimpati dengan apa yang sedang dilalui oleh mereka dalam tahanan, dan kita mengharapkan mereka yang telah pun dikenakan charge tetapi masih di luar, kuatkan azam saudara-saudara untuk menentang kezaliman ini. Sekali lagi saya katakan, bebaskan mereka. Bebaskan mereka. Bebaskan mereka. Sekian, terima kasih. Saya dengan ini menyerahkan majlis kepada Sekretariat Program Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan 2018. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, Ketua Pembangkang, Presiden Pakatan Harapan dan Presiden Keadilan. Yang berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Timbalan Presiden Pakatan Harapan dan Presiden PPBM. Yang berhormat Saudara Tan Kok Wai, Pemangku Pengurusi DAP. Yang berhormat Dr. Mujahid Yusof, Naib Presiden Amanah. Yang berhormat Saudara Wong Chen, Ketua Pasukan yang menyediakan Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan. Ahli-ahli parlimen daripada Pakatan Harapan, termasuklah ada seorang tu dia tak tahu parti mana, tapi kita ucap selamat datang. Dia blok kelima apa? Semua rakan-rakan ya, ahli-ahli parlimen, ahli-ahli Dewan Undangan ini, para pimpinan dari parti-parti anggota Pakatan Harapan, anggota media, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang dihormati sekalian, alhamdulillah kita bersyukur kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana kita dapat bertemu sekali lagi dalam tradisi yang dulunya dimulakan oleh Pakatan Rakyat dan sekarang disambung dengan lebih mantap lagi insya-Allah oleh Pakatan Harapan, yakni Pembentangan Belanjawan Alternatif. Dan ini adalah Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan yang ketiga sejak Pakatan Harapan ditubuhkan pada 22 September tahun 2015 yang lalu. Dan seperti lazimnya, belanjawan ini dibentangkan oleh Ketua Pembangkang dan kali ini dibentangkan 2 hari sebelum belanjawan oleh Kerajaan Persekutuan. Acara kita pada hari ini terbahagi kepada 2 segmen utama. Yang pertama ialah Yang Berhormat Ketua Pembangkang akan menyampaikan ucapan untuk pembentangan belanjawan ini. Dan segmen yang kedua ialah Saudara Wong Chen beserta dengan timnya, yakni Yang Berhormat Saudara Ong Kiang Meng, Saudara Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, Saudara Datuk Dr. Rais Husin akan memberi taklimat kepada media tentang perincian kepada belanjawan tersebut. Sebelum itu, saya juga ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan setinggi-tinggi terima kasih kepada pasukan orang-orang muda yang membantu menyediakan belanjawan ini. Ramai yang membantu, tetapi terutamanya ada 3 orang yang ada di sisi saya ini. Kita beri tepukan kepada Saudara Sean, Sean, okay. Saudari Tina, ya, dan Saudari Abigail. Ya. Ada seorang lagi tapi dia ni kat London, so tak apalah, kita berilah tepukan kepada Nadira, sekarang di London. Baiklah, tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya dengan penuh takzim menjemput Yang Berhormat Ketua Pembangkang Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail untuk menyampaikan ucapan beliau. Dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allah yang Maha Berkuasa atas segala sesuatu, pemilik kerajaan langit dan bumi dan yang wujud di antaranya. Selawat salam ke atas junjungan baginda Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, pembawa rahmat seluruh alam serta tauladan untuk disanjungi. Yang dihormati Saudara Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, Ketua Setiausaha Pakatan Harapan. Yang dihormati Staf Pimpinan Keadilan, Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Tan Sri Datuk Yang Berhormat Tuan Tan Kok Wai, Yang Berhormat Saudara Mujahid, dan staf-staf pimpinan keadilan DAP Amanah dan PPPM. Yang Berhormat ahli-ahli Parlimen Pakatan Harapan, juga daripada Datuk Mahfuz Omar, adun-adun Pakatan Harapan, tuan-tuan, puan-puan dan wakil media sekalian. Saya tak tahu kat mana dia. Di sini. Setinggi-tinggi tahniah saya ucapkan kepada pasukan petugas Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan 2018 ini yang dipimpin bersama oleh Yang Berhormat Saudara Wong Chen dari Keadilan, Yang Berhormat Dr. Ong Kian Meng daripada DAP, Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad daripada Amanah, dan Datuk Dr. Rais Husin daripada PPPM. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada anggota Sekretariat Pakatan Harapan dan pejabat Parlimen Kelana Jaya yang bertungkus lumus selama 2 bulan untuk menyiapkan Belanjawan Alternatif ini. Saudara-saudari yang dikasihi, terlebih dulu saya mengajak agar bermuhasabah diri dengan peringatan Allah SWT dalam surah Al-Hasyr ayat ke-7. Supaya, saya petik ya, maksudnya supaya harta itu tidak hanya beredar di antara orang-orang kaya dari kalangan kamu. Ayat ini merupakan penegasan dan tuntutan dalam kerangka perjuangan menegakkan prinsip keadilan sosial dan pembangunan yang saksama, menerusi pengagihan yang adil di antara sesama manusia dan juga menerusi pembinaan upaya institusi pemerintahan yang manusiawi dengan dasar politik dan ekonomi yang substantif dan inklusif. Ayat ini juga mengajak umat untuk menutup jurang kaya miskin dalam masyarakat tanpa mengira warna kulit, bangsa dan agama. Pada hari ini, Pakatan Harapan membentangkan Belanjawan Alternatif 2018 dengan bertemakan berhemah dalam perbelanjaan, cukai dikurangkan, pilihlah harapan. Pembentangan Belanjawan Alternatif ini adalah kesinambungan gagasan kesatuan pemikiran hasil wacana pimpinan Pakatan Harapan dalam kerangka keberanian dan keupayaan kami bagi menggantikan dasar-dasar usang lagi lapuk dengan agenda ekonomi yang baru dengan agenda ekonomi yang baru dan segar bagi menyelamat dan memulihkan negara kita daripada kepincangan dasar-dasar ekonomi dan keuangan negara di bawah UMNO BN. Kita memulakan usaha pembentangan Belanjawan Alternatif ini pada 2011 semenjak dipimpin oleh mantan Ketua Pembangkang Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, seorang tahanan politik. Selama 8 tahun berturut-turut, walaupun kami berhadapan dengan kekangan sumber, data dan maklumat, kami kekal beriltizam menyedia dan membentangkan sebuah belanjawan alternatif bagi pihak pembangkang yang merupakan penerusan amalan yang tidak pernah berlaku sebelumnya, unprecedented dengan izin, dalam dunia demokrasi khasnya bagi negara-negara kolonial. Sesungguhnya, kami percaya kejayaan masa depan Malaysia bergantung kepada persaingan idea serta dasar yang aktif dan terbuka, mempunyai garis panduan yang jelas terhadap semua dasar pemulihan dan penambahbaikan amalan tadbir urus yang baik serta reformasi menyeluruh terhadap sistem politik dan ekonomi negara. Dokumen Belanjawan Alternatif 2018 ini menggariskan strategi dan tindakan jangka pendek yang perlu diberi tumpuan. Ianya menjadi asas Pakatan Harapan berperanan aktif di dalam perbahasan Dewan Rakyat yang sedang bersidang. Dokumen ini juga merupakan bukan saja kritikan tetapi juga tawaran penyelesaian terhadap amalan bobrok dan kepincangan pengurusan ekonomi serta keuangan negara di bawah UMNO BN. Di bawah pentadbiran UMNO BN, negara terus terjerumus dalam kegawatan ekonomi, kenaikan kos sara hidup rakyat, upah buruh dan gaji pekerja yang rendah, pengangguran anak muda yang tinggi, rasuah yang membengkak, diburukkan lagi dengan persekitaran politik yang tidak menentu. Kita juga menyaksikan penindasan politik, ketegangan agama dan kaum dengan sikap tidak bertoleransi masyarakat, serta gagalnya semangat integrasi nasional yang diusahakan oleh kepimpinan negara terdahulu, dan ini semua adalah berpunca daripada kegagalan dan kelemahan kepimpinan UMNO BN. Justru itu, saya ingin menegaskan bahawa Pakatan Harapan menentang keras politik yang memperalatkan perkauman dan agama oleh mana-mana pihak dan kumpulan. Saya menyuruh rakyat tidak terperangkap dalam permainan adu domba sebegini yang cuba mengalih perhatian dan tumpuan rakyat daripada permasalahan kritikal yang melanda negara. Kita harus sedar betapa percubaan demi percubaan dilakukan oleh kepimpinan negara di bawah Datuk Seri Najib untuk menutup kemusnahan ekonomi Malaysia akibat daripada amalan kleptokrasi, rasuah, ketirisan, pembaziran, salah guna kuasa, penyiasatan terpilih, pendakwaan terpilih dan terhakisnya demokrasi berparlimen. Saudara-saudari yang dihormati, Belanjawan Pakatan Harapan kali ini berfungsi sebagai dasar fiskal, keuangan dan ekonomi alternatif kepada Belanjawan UMNO BN yang akan dibentangkan pada hari Jumaat nanti. Lagi 2 hari. Dokumen ini mempunyai 2 tujuan. Pertama, sebagai dokumen fiskal untuk tahun 2018. Dan kedua, sebagai sebahagian daripada manifesto ekonomi Pakatan Harapan menjurus kepada pilihan raya umum ke-14. Antara langkah-langkah utama yang akan diambil oleh Pakatan Harapan adalah: pertama, bertekad. Kami bertekad menghapuskan rasuah dan pembaziran. Langkah ini dijangka akan menyelamatkan dana awam yang dianggarkan sebanyak 20 bilion. Bukan sikit tetapi banyak, 20 bilion harta awam. Kejayaan menyelamatkan dana awam daripada ketirisan dan rasuah ini bergantung pada apa? Bergantung kepada upaya, komitmen dan kesungguhan penjawat awam dalam usaha pembenterasan rasuah. Kita semua mesti dalam usaha ini. Justru Pakatan Harapan akan menerapkan dasar tata kelola dan urus tadbir yang terbaik serta mengangkat martabat dan kewibawaan perkhidmatan awam sebagai pasukan barisan hadapan pentadbiran negara. Ingat, negara kita telah merdeka dan pentadbiran awamlah yang telah membawa negara kita sampai ke hari ini. Dan apabila kita betulkan pentadbiran awam, insya-Allah kita akan betulkan pentadbiran negara kita. Hasil daripada penjimatan ini ianya akan dimanfaatkan bagi meningkatkan pendapatan kaki tangan perkhidmatan awam melalui anugerah kerja berintegriti dengan pemberian bonus selain daripada insentif khas yang akan diberi pada musim-musim perayaan menurut kadar yang sewajarnya. Kedua, GST, Cukai Barangan dan Perkhidmatan, yang merupakan cukai regresif yang mengakibatkan peningkatan kos mendadak secara kumulatif dan akhirnya memberi kesan bebanan hidup secara langsung kepada rakyat tanpa kecuali. Kalau dulu cukai hanya untuk golongan yang layak dicukai sahaja, tetapi dengan GST tiada yang terkecuali, termasuk golongan fakir miskin, penerima zakat pun kena GST. GST juga merupakan antara punca utama kenaikan kos sara hidup rakyat selain kenaikan charge tol serta harga petrol dan diesel. Akibatnya, harga barangan dan perkhidmatan naik melambung yang membebankan rakyat, khasnya golongan berpendapatan rendah. Saya akan anticipate kata kalau dalam tu dia akan memberikan saya banyaklah tentangan-tentangan, tapi saya cakap bagi golongan yang tidak dapat suara dalam parlimen. Ini adalah penting untuk kita naikkan masalah daripada GST membebankan kos sara hidup rakyat terbanyak. Maka dengan itu, Pakatan Harapan mencadangkan dalam Belanjawan Alternatif 2018 ini, cukai barangan dan perkhidmatan GST dihapuskan. Ketiga, Kerajaan Pakatan Harapan juga akan menghapuskan tol jalan raya di Malaysia. Penghapusan tol ini akan dilaksanakan menerusi pembelian balik konsesi oleh Kerajaan Pakatan Harapan secara berperingkat. Penghapusan tol ini juga mengurangkan kos pengangkutan rakyat sekaligus mengurangkan bebanan perjalanan perbelanjaan rakyat. Keempat, Kerajaan Pakatan Harapan bersetuju untuk meningkatkan kadar royalti minyak di negeri Kelantan, Terengganu, Sabah dan Sarawak pada kadar 20%. Langkah ini akan meningkatkan hasil negeri. Justru melalui peningkatan hasil ini, ianya dapat dimanfaatkan oleh negeri-negeri berkenaan bagi merangsang pembangunan negeri yang kebetulan tersenarai antara negeri-negeri yang bercatatkan kadar kemiskinan tertinggi. Malu tak malu? Kadar kemiskinan tertinggi walaupun bumi kaya dengan minyak. Ketidakadilan ini akan dihentikan segera tanpa diskriminasi politik demi kepentingan rakyat terbanyak. Kelima, Pakatan Harapan juga akan memberi jaminan bahawa pendidikan awam, human resource, pendidikan awam adalah percuma kepada semua rakyat Malaysia yang berkelayakan merangkumi universiti awam. Kami juga akan memastikan persekitaran dan prasarana institusi pendidikan tinggi, menengah dan rendah adalah yang terbaik serta bebas daripada sebarang diskriminasi dan manipulasi politik kepartian. Sekaligus ini akan membina suasana pengajian yang kondusif bagi membentuk generasi Malaysia yang terdidik dan berfikiran kelas dunia setanding negara-negara maju di dunia. Saudara-saudari yang dikasihi, saya ingin menegaskan keazaman Pakatan Harapan bahawa dokumen Belanjawan Alternatif ini akan menjadi dokumen terakhir atas sifat Pakatan Harapan sebagai entiti pembangkang, insya-Allah. Kami semua ini berazam dan berkeyakinan untuk memenangi pilihan raya umum ke-14 dengan menumbangkan BN kepimpinan Datuk Seri Najib, insya-Allah. Justru itu, kami akan bekerja keras meyakinkan rakyat untuk membuat pilihan yang tepat dan terbaik dalam pilihan raya umum ke-14 yang akan datang, agar Belanjawan Alternatif 2018 ini akan menjadi pembentangan terakhir Pakatan Harapan sebagai pembangkang, dan insya-Allah selepas PRU14 ini Pakatan Harapan akan membentangkan Belanjawan Kerajaan Pakatan Harapan dengan mandat sebagai kerajaan persekutuan yang baru. Kita doakan. Kita akan membina semula negara dalam kerangka membangunkan Malaysia yang baru, yang merealisasikan potensi rakyat dan negara, membentuk dasar, matlamat dan pendekatan perancangan ekonomi berlandaskan prinsip pengagihan kemakmuran dan kekayaan negara secara adil dan saksama. Pakatan Harapan juga bertekad untuk membangunkan masa depan negara berasaskan prinsip maqasid syariah, menerusi keadilan sosial dan pembangunan yang seimbang. Akhirul kalam, saya mengajak rakyat menyokong dasar-dasar yang digariskan dalam Belanjawan Alternatif 2018 ini bagi membina semula negara kita yang adil, makmur dan sejahtera. Saya yakin pengharapan dasar dan nilai yang dibentangkan menerusi Belanjawan Alternatif ini akan membawa natijah menjadikan Malaysia sebagai negara yang lebih baik, lebih adil, lebih saksama bagi kita semua, rakyatnya. Dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya dengan sukacita merasmikan Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan 2018. Terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih banyak Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri atas ucapan meluncurkan Belanjawan Alternatif Pakatan Harapan tahun 2018. Sebelum kita pergi ke segmen yang kedua, yakni sidang media oleh pasukan penyediaan bajet ini, saya ingin menjemput pimpinan utama dan semua ahli-ahli Parlimen Pakatan Harapan dan juga pimpinan Pakatan Harapan yang hadir, Adun dan sebagainya, yang bakal, termasuklah yang nak bakal jadi anggota Pakatan Harapan, kalau boleh bersama-sama di belakang pimpinan utama untuk kita buat our normal gimmick dengan buku apa namanya belanjawan ini. Ya, dipersilakan. Jemput semua ahli parlimen, bekas ahli parlimen. Adun Johor ni ada seorang ni. Ya. Sila. Pegang buku bajet lah.
Link lah, not exactly.
Thumbs up.
I think you got to get the other angle also.
Pokok sana. Tengok dia duduk belakang presiden mana tu. Dia tengah-tengah. Tengah dengan DP. Okay, thank you. Okay, terima kasih semua. Terima kasih kepada pimpinan utama dan ahli-ahli parlimen. Sekarang saya nak jemput Yang Berhormat Saudara Wong Chen, Yang Berhormat Dr. Ong Kian Meng, Saudara Zulkifli Ahmad, Datuk Dr. Rais Husin, dan Sean and Tina and Abigail. Okay. Sini. So boleh saya persilakan saudara Wong Chen dan pasukannya untuk seterusnya mengendalikan taklimat kepada media. Mungkin pihak media nak ubah kedudukan mikrofon untuk set up. Okay, Memberi Wong Chen, over to you. Thank you.
Minyak 2012. No raya.
In the middle. In the middle.
Yeah, but they're not going to stay there.
Terima kasih Datuk Saiful Abdullah. Let me just introduce, ladies and gentlemen and members of the media, let me just introduce the budget committee team. Yeah? On my left is Dr. Ong Kian Meng from DEP. He leads the DEP research side and also the economic policy issues. And on my far left, Dr. Rais Hussein, who leads the Bersatu economic team. And on my right, my very good friend, Dr. Zo. We've been working together for a long time, also with Dr. Ong Kian Meng. Dr. Zo, of course, is from Amanah. He's also the main economic advisor. This working committee is part of the Pakatan Harapan manifesto group. There are many YBs out there who have contributed to this budget document. They also should be acknowledged for their efforts. We are all part of the larger manifesto group. The manifesto group is working hard to produce reports on political, economic and social policies. So all those will be coming up in due time. Yeah? This briefing will take about 30 minutes. It gives you the highlights of what you want to do. My staff are on standby to circulate the PowerPoint slides that we're going to present shortly. This budget process has taken about 60 days to do, almost 2 months. What I want to stress is this. In Pakatan Harapan, we consult each other on everything. We work on the principle that everybody has a point of view. We accommodate the request of DAP, we accommodate the request of PKR, we accommodate the request of Bersatu, and also accommodate the request of Amanah. The process are never easy. It is a process of negotiations, but I think we're very happy to announce that we're united on this front. And the fact that we produced this 70+ pages of document shows that Pakatan Harapan is absolutely ready to rule, that our economic policies, our fiscal policy and monetary policies are in order. So I would like to now start the presentation to members of the media and members of parliament. Let me just give you the overview. The budget is broken down into 3 segments largely. Fiscal projection 2018, if you look at page 11 to page 26, or in the Malay version, muka surat 13 sampai ke 30. This fiscal projections is what we always do every year. Yeah? So we're not going to focus on that. In fact, we're going to focus on Pakatan Harapan economic policies, which is on page 27 to page 60. The Pakatan Harapan economic policies will be part of the manifesto policies that we will pursue. So they will be repeated later on when the manifesto comes out just before GE14. Yeah? Lastly, the last segment is the fun segment. If you don't want to read really the policies or find it a bit difficult to understand some of the terms, it's easiest that you focus on the last segment, which is narratives from the year 2030 projecting forward. We create a scenario where Pakatan Harapan wins the 2018 election, and then we rule for 12 years and what the impact are on 6 Malaysian families. So the easy version, please read the final chapters, which starts from page 61 to 68, and in the Malay document 69 to 78. Yeah? Okay. There are 5 highlights that we want to project to the members of the media. I know it's quite difficult to read all 70+ pages. The first issue we have to deal with is, can we afford to eliminate GST? Number 2 is reducing the cost of living. Number 3, how to improve the economy. Number 4, how do we help specific groups? And number 5, government finance reform. I'll be inviting members of the committee to talk a little bit about these 5 chapters. I'll just start with the core issue that everybody asks us, can we eliminate GST? Yeah? You have the slide? This is the definitive answer to how the mathematics for elimination of GST. Okay? You can see at the very top, we know that GST collection is going to hit for 2018 and for many years to come, somewhere close to 42 billion ringgit. We are committed to zero rating and the elimination of GST. Yeah? We will go back to some form of consumption tax Dr. Mahathir and many leaders of Pakatan Harapan already stated this point. There will be some consumption tax, but we'll go back to what we call pre-GST days. So the whole that we have to cover is not 42 billion. In actual fact, the whole is 25.5 billion. Now, if you see the list there, starting at the second line, SITA, which is corporate income tax, RPDT, as you know, real property gain tax, motor vehicle licenses, import duties, excise duties, other import duties, other excise duties, stamp duties, are all related to the idea that if you give back 25.5 billion to the people, go back into their pocket, they will spend this 25.5 billion, and the direct result of this spending is that you will get 7 billion in additional revenue. Yeah? You got 25.5 billion, the people use this money, they buy a new car, they buy more houses, they buy more shoes, they go to KFC, they do whatever basic consumers do. You will get increased corporate income tax in the tune of 2.81 billion. Now the numbers that we project are very conservative. There's a very likelihood that it might be higher than that. Yeah? So how do we balance this 25.5 billion? The fundamental problem with the Malaysian economy, at least the fiscal aspect, is that the spending, the revenue, the expenditure element is always wrapped by corruption and wastage. What we're saying is this: you give back 25.5 billion, you will get back other revenues in the tune of 7 to 8 billion a year. But the core reason why we can balance the GST issue is that we will save close to 20 billion from wastage and corruption. Next slide, please. Let me give you a breakdown, a simple breakdown of how do we save 20 billion. We know the Prime Minister budget is going to be 21 or 22 billion this year, or at least next year, 2018. We know that we can effectively run a PM department by a mere budget of 8 billion a year. We know this as a certainty because the last time Dr. Mahathir was Prime Minister in the year 2002, his budget was 8 billion in today's value. Yeah? So we know discretionary spending can be slashed immediately, and then the remaining 8 billion comes from savings from other ministry alone. The mathematics are clear. We can hit this 20 billion target. If you want a more refined argument on the issue, please look at a calculation done by National Oversight and Whistleblower on how we compute the issue of 20 billion. Next slide. On this matter, I would like to invite Dr. Ong Kian Meng to talk a little bit about the cost of living.
Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Saudara Ong Kian dan juga tim bajet Pakatan Harapan. Salah satu isu yang saya rasa adalah masalah utama yang dihadapi oleh rakyat Malaysia pada waktu sekarang, terutamanya selepas pelaksanaan GST pada tahun 2015 ialah isu kos sara hidup yang kian menaik. Dan dalam statistik yang telah dikeluarkan oleh Department of Statistik ataupun DOS, kadar inflasi untuk tahun 2017 adalah 2 kali ganda kadar inflasi untuk tahun 2016, lebih daripada 4%. Dan year on year di bulan September yang baru diterbitkan oleh DOS, lebih daripada 4%. Inflation hit a high of 5.1% in March of this year, and this is an issue which needs to be addressed. Jadi untuk bajet Pakatan Harapan, kita memang ada mengemukakan banyak program dan juga langkah untuk menangani kos sara hidup yang kian naik. Strategi yang pertama ialah apa yang telah dikatakan oleh Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizat tadi dan juga dijelaskan oleh Saudara Wong Kian, iaitu untuk menghapuskan GST. Dan saya yakin bahawa penghapusan GST ini memang akan mengurangkan kadar inflasi dan juga memberi relief lah kepada rakyat Malaysia. Kedua ialah untuk memansuhkan tol secara berperingkat. Tadi Datuk Seri Wan Azizat telah kata lebih banyak tentang strategi untuk menghapuskan tol. On the issue of abolishing tolls, if people ask us how we're going to do this, we'll need to examine the details of each concession agreement. because each concession agreement is still under OSA, we more or less know some of the terms of the buyback, for example, for the LDP, which has been examined by a couple of MPs before this. But for the rest of the tolls, we'll need to examine them toll by toll. But we are confident that the cost of acquisition of toll in the long run would be better, will be cheaper for the consumer as well as for the government, because we will not need to pay pampasan or compensation to the toll companies every year. We will also have free education at the public universities, and we'll also have a greater emphasis and focus on technical and vocational training. We give the example in our budget on how the Penang State Government has launched the Penang Skills Development partnership with the German Business Council on how to incorporate the German apprenticeship model into TEVT, which currently is not being practiced here by the higher education industry. We also make public transport more affordable. Before 2015, there was something called a monthly bus and LRT pass. But after the price hikes in December 2015, charged by Prasarana, this monthly pass was abolished. We will reintroduce this monthly pass. We propose a price of 100 ringgit for this pass that which can be used in all forms of public transportation in the Klang Valley, KTM, MRT, LRT, bus, and you can take unlimited rides using this 100 ringgit bus pass, this public transportation pass. We'll introduce also 1,000 new buses to the public sector transport network in the Klang Valley, and also to roll out similar bus services to other states. We've seen the successful launching of 100 bus routes, free bus routes in Selangor, and Penang also has similar initiatives that was launched before this. We'll also eliminate monopolies in order to reduce prices and increase competition. The two that we've highlighted in our budget is the monopoly that is currently being enjoyed by Bernas in the importation of rice from countries like Thailand and Vietnam, that artificially increases the prices of these imported rice. We will re-examine that monopoly. The other monopoly that we've highlighted in our budget is to relook at the concession monopoly given to Pharmaniaga to buy drugs, to sell drugs to the Ministry of Health, which many of us feel is overpriced. On affordable housing, we repeat what we proposed in the last budget, which is to consolidate all government housing programs under one central department. We look at the HDB Housing Development Board in Singapore as an example, where they can provide good quality government subsidized housing at an affordable price. And then we'll also provide incentives for the industrialized building systems for the developers and also other interested parties, construction companies, for example, because this is one of the main problems that they complain about. They need to invest quite a lot of money into IBS systems before they can make it economical or cost effective to use IBS to build affordable housing and other types of housing at a reduced cost. For the students, we will introduce income contingent PTPTN repayments. What this means is that if you are earning, if you are a fresh graduate, you're earning below 4,000 ringgit a month, and if you have outstanding PTPTN loans, you do not have to repay your PTPTN loans until you earn 4,000 ringgit or more a month. This is something that's practiced in many developed countries, including Australia and the UK. And this also means that all those students, all those PTPTN borrowers who currently are on blacklist, if you are earning less than 4,000 ringgit, you will be removed from the blacklist. So this is good news for PTPTN borrowers. And then lastly, we will reintroduce the fuel subsidy, but on a very targeted basis, which is only for small CC cars and motorbikes, so that people who drive BMWs and Mercedes don't get to enjoy this. But at the same time, those who are considered the B40 income group will be able to have these targeted fuel subsidies to enjoy. Pass on to
baik. Saya menyambung. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. bercakap tentang upah atau gaji dan income, ya, yang merupakan satu perkara yang kronik, ya, dalam ekonomi Malaysia. One of the perennial problems of the Malaysian economy adalah suppression of wages, ya, di mana tekanan ke atas, ya, peningkatan upah wages telah menjadi satu yang, ya, yang kronik sehingga kini. Dan mudahnya kalau kita mengambil contoh, di mana kalau kita perhatikan nisbah, ya, agihan, ya, the Malaysian wage share of GDP, boleh faham, ya? Malaysian wage daripada GDP itu berapa yang sebenarnya dibayar kepada workers ataupun pekerja, that is the wage share, adalah pada paras 34.8, ya, berbanding Singapura 43, berbanding United Kingdom hampir 50%, berbanding United States 3.4. Dengan kata lain, pekerja di Malaysia mengalami wage suppression sehingga kini. Jadi bila kata lain, kami dalam Pakatan Harapan bermula dengan menangani perkara ini dengan komitmen kami untuk melaksanakan gaji minima pada paras 1,500 yang telah pun dijalankan, dilaksanakan di dua negeri yang kita takbir, yang di Selangor dan Pulau Pinang, ya. Ini adalah juga bersejajar dengan apa yang dituntut oleh di NTUC, ya, kesatuan kerja yang menuntut akan perkara ini. Dan kita tahu bahawa perkara ini juga mungkin akan berdepan, majikan akan berdepan dengan masalah ini. Maka we therefore propose a co-pay system which will split the cost of this raising minimum wage equally between government and employers for a period of 3 years. Jadi untuk 3 tahun kita berkongsi membayar, ya, akan peningkatan ataupun yang tambahan kepada 500 itu di antara, ya, majikan dan kerajaan. Ini komitmen kami, ya, 3 tahun co-pay system. Dan seterusnya kita akan memperkukuhkan apa yang dikatakan sebagai muafakat 3 penjuru ataupun the tripartite wage council, ya, di antara majikan, ya, kesatuan dan juga kerajaan. Ini sebenarnya malu untuk kita menyebutkan dilaksanakan di Singapura and all, you know, apa ini, social market economy of the Nordic countries, ya, mereka melaksanakan ini dan ini akan menjamin, ya, upah bagi pekerja dapat kita tingkatkan, ya. Begitu juga kita perlu tahu antara sebab kenapa suppression ataupun tekanan upah ini berlaku adalah kerana lambakan, ya, pekerja asing yang secara resminya 6 juta, ya, mungkin lebih daripada itu yang tidak berdaftar. Lalu Pakatan Harapan bertekad dalam masa 5 tahun untuk mengurangkan ini kepada paras 4 juta. Dengan itu, ya, dan akan mengurangkan ini antara lain yang mengambil pendekatan mengenakan penambahan levy, ya, 10% setiap tahun hingga 2020, ya. Itu adalah antara perkara yang saya ingin sebutkan. Begitu juga, ya, untuk we will allow existing illegal workers to register and legalize themselves at a reasonable cost. Dan akhirnya untuk saya sebutkan betapa kita mau mengukuhkan atau memajukan satu polisi di mana existing 150,000, ya, refugees, ya, di Malaysia ini akan kita berikan izin untuk bekerja, to reduce the demand ataupun permintaan untuk foreign workers. Itu antara perkara mengapa ataupun cara bagaimana kita mau mengangkat, ya, persoalan upah dan gaji and a better employment scheme untuk pekerja di negara ini. Bergalih kepada SMEs yang tuan-tuan tahu adalah tulang belakang di ekonomi negara ini, ya, kita berpandangan bahawa di samping yang menjadi model yang kita ambil pun Korea Selatan, dan tetapi kita lebih cenderung untuk mengambil contoh Taiwan, ya, yang kita dapat perhatikan, ya, SMEs mereka itu adalah seumpama negara kita ini Dan inilah yang mana kita, they don't have big, Hyundai, Samsung, all those banyak. But then they develop from smaller SMEs. Dan ini kita mau jadikan model supaya kita akan lihat dengan 3 pendekatan. Pertama, by introducing strategic export planning consultation for SMEs, we will better prepare our SMEs for the export market. Khususnya bagi mereka yang merupakan first time SMEs exporter. Itu satu langkah yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah dengan kita memperkasakan SME Corps dengan tingkatkan budget sebanyak 100 juta, dan dengan itu insya-Allah kita dapat modernize, kita dapat pengurusannya, promotionnya, IT adoptionnya, personal trainingnya, dan seumpamanya untuk memperkukuhkan SMEs kita. Dan ketiga adalah untuk kita berikan apa yang kita katakan sebagai will give the support to Malaysian SME by actively promoting Malaysian made good abroad. Dengan ini mencadangkan supaya kita memperuntukkan 1% dari total export fund for promotion of goods and goods manufactured by our SMEs, di level, Dan akhir sekali untuk saya sebutkan, pada the big players, the big capitals of industry to go further, and then of course dengan itu kita build up at the same time a better ecosystem for the SMEs to thrive. Sekaligus kita akan dapat menangani persoalan apa yang dikatakan sebagai fenomena premature deindustrialization yang berlaku dalam ekonomi Malaysia. Saya kira sedikit itu saya sebutkan. Kita kena prepare for the fourth industrialization revolution. Itu di mana artificial intelligence dan robotics semua ini akan mengambil alih di industri. Dan of course kita kena prepare dengan lebih baik lagi in terms of human capital dan sebagainya. Saya rasa saya tidak dapat finish my time. Finally, not the least of course, dalam hal memperkasakan dan memperkukuhkan Islamic finance, kita adalah sebuah negara yang agak sudah 3 dekad kita terlibat dalam Islamic finance and banking. Namun moving forward, yang lebih penting bagi rakyat, yang lebih penting bagi ekonomi negara adalah sejauh mana pada akhirnya Islamic finance dan banking ini dapat mengisi apa yang dikatakan sebagai matlamat tujuan Islamic finance ini, dan tujuan maqasid syariah ataupun the higher intent of syariah, which is well-being, prosperity, addressing disparity dan inequality. Jadi di sini kami merasakan moving forward, we need to have an impact measurement in terms of growth and social implication, which will have to be quantified, graded and documented. Itu antara perkara yang saya dapat sebut dalam kekangan waktu ini. Terima kasih.
Saya jumpa Dr. Rais.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. I will be talking about 3 big elements: the woman empowerment, the Bumi Putra empowerment, and the Felda. These are the 3 very important aspects of our budget. Woman, as we know, brings a lot of balance to life. Do you all agree? Yes. So you must know that Pakatan Harapan's budget is going to be the most woman-friendly budget ever in the history of Malaysia. And Alhamdulillah, we want the woman to be rewarded fairly and equitably in the share of the economy. So we want to ensure that women are taken care of, because we know from a lot of studies that have been made, both in the Western world and America specifically, women do bring a lot of balance, not only in life but also in the boardrooms, board of directors and so on. Now, starting with the pre-employment phase, we will make it illegal for anyone to discriminate women applicants based on whether they are pregnant or married and all that. This is going to be legislated into a law, and therefore this will ensure the woman will have the equitable right access to employment. And upon employment, we will also want to ensure that the women are paid equally to that of men on the same job function and same work done. This is very, very important. Extending further on this employment, the third element is that we want to ensure the participation of women in the board of directors, a boardroom, will be increased. We want to ensure at least one woman, but thereafter we want to increase that to at least 30%. So when you have 30% of mothers, wives, and women in the boardroom, it will bring some sense of sensibility in decision making. Thereafter, coming to the maternity, we would like to introduce from the current 90 days to about 120 days full pay. And if there's going to be any addition, that can be extended by 60 days on half pay. This will be made initially as a recommendation and will be incentivized with tax breaks. But eventually, after 5 years into administration, we will make sure that this 120 days maternity will be fully enforced. There are also circumstances where a woman delivers babies and then they go and look after the babies. Sometimes they get one baby, sometimes they get twins, sometimes they get triplets, and this comes with a lot of responsibilities and time proximity to the babies.
So they have to interject. Dr. Rice just had twins. Congratulations to Dr. Rice.
So they have to be proximate to the babies, and that requires a lot of effort. So they may have to leave their employment for some time. But when they do come back, they should be not discriminated with regards to her pay or position and all that. So these are all the important things that we would like to introduce. Malaysian Women Contribution Fund is another policy that was introduced during the GE13, where the government will, the husband will contribute 50 ringgit to this particular fund every month, together with the government as well, with a matching contribution, and this will become the net should anything goes wrong in the marriage or the death of the husband. And finally, of course, the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act will become an enforceable law. This is very, very important, especially any discriminatory practices against women. I think today I've scored a lot of points with the women. Okay, now let's move on to the Bumiputra. The Bumiputra element, I mean, we must always remember, we do not have to really reinvent a will. A will is going to be around as much as you want. So, likewise, if there are policies that is good, but the lack of implementation, the great hiatus in implementation, is the problem, really, in the Bumiputra policies. So, how do we address all this? We would like to suggest, obviously, better and good governance to ensure all these policies will be implemented. We look at the equity participation of Bumiputra, some of staggering statistics. There was as a study done by Dr. Muhammad Abdul Khalid, where Bumiputra Gini coefficient, ASMB, is a staggering 0.836. In plain language, only very few Bumiputra that owns quite a sizable chunk of the equity. In his study, it's about 0.2% of unit holders record an average of 745,000 ringgit. But if you look at the vast majority, tak sampai 536 ringgit. And this is a very, again, the policies are good, but the implementation is bad. Sometimes the implementation is done in a way to benefit the few. So it moves from Bumiputra to, some people say Amno Putra, I do not know lah. So again, to enable wealth creation among the Bumiputra community, the minimum wage that we talked about then, just now, will be also implemented. We will also talk about this MBO, management buyout, on GLCs. I think the specifics on this, you can ask if you want to ask later, we will answer. But if there is going to be any, there's also detail in this budget, and eventually we will come up with our manifesto that will be declared before the G14. Coming back to a more important thing is the good governance or lack thereof is the biggest problem that most of these companies are facing, and we will make sure that good governance will be introduced to ensure we have weed out all these issues. Coming to Bumiputra participation in business sector, the Class F contractor will remain a status quo, but then we will have a two-tier participation of these Bumiputras in businesses. This is again, but there will be intra-Bumiputra competition. That means it is not just only one person will get contract all the time using different names. So there is going to be good competition within the capable and able Bumiputra. So this is basically enabling, empowering, not just giving fish. You know, people always talk about giving fish. So these instant millionaires all will come to, these days we talk about instant billionaires, right? No more billionaires. So billionaires will come to an end. Coming to FELDA, FELDA is a very important organization that has done remarkably well in the early stages until someone, MO1 took over. Abdul Rahman Dahlan clearly said it is Najib, I'm not sure, but it is MO1. So then we saw a lot of problems, and we know day by day everything is being disclosed, and it is staggering. So we want to make sure that FELDA will be liberated from being a feudal existence. Sekarang ni, bila dia menjadi macam deposit, so what they do is that they will just give some money, handouts, and then they forget them for 5 years. So we do not want that. We want to empower the FELDA settlers. We want to make sure that no more feudal existence. So with that, there's a lot of schemes that we are working on. There are going to be a very specific FELDA manifesto that will be announced before the G14 that addresses the FELDA's specific issues, including but not limited to the education of the children in FELDA. Yes, university is good, but the real education must start from the primary and secondary. That's where there's a lot of dropouts. Then the socio-economic of the FELDA settlers and so on and so forth. We will also introduce proper governance into FELDA and to restore the glory days of FELDA that we used to know. Remember, they were cash rich once upon a time. Again, cash always disappears when MO1 is near. All right, with that, I'll get back to YB1.
Can we have the next slide? Yeah.
Now we want to answer the question of how we want to help specific groups by having targeted budget schemes and strategies for them. The Indian community is one which has been marginalized for many years in Malaysia. Although we do not outline all the programs that we want to outline in the budget, because many of these programs will be put in the manifesto, what we do have here is, I think, very important programs that will be attractive to the Indian community. Firstly, we want to set up a special fund to increase Indian equity participation. Right now, estimates are that the Indian participation or ownership of the equity market is less than 2%. Definitely, this needs to be increased, and we will have a special fund to look into this to increase Indian equity participation. We will introduce a single parents welfare program whereby funding will be given to single parents who up to the tune of 100 ringgit a month for each child, so that this can be used to incentivize them to stay in schools. We also have an allocation of 200 million a year for Indian NGOs to help the Indian community, and we promise to properly fund Tamil schools. Tamil schools, in terms of the infrastructure, is very, very poor compared to national schools, and our commitment is to give each and every Tamil school enough allocation to bring them to the same standard as our national schools. On the issue of Chinese new villages, currently we have over 600 new villages Chinese new villages in Malaysia. Many of them are experiencing the outflow of young people because there are not enough job opportunities and also economic activities in these Chinese new villages. We will give an allocation of 60 million, which works out to an average of 100,000 for each new village. Some will receive more because their needs are greater. Some will receive less because they are relatively prosperous already. We want to make sure that this money goes into interest loans, low interest loans, to enable those who want to stay back in the village or those who want to go back to their new villages to invest as entrepreneurs in business such as tourism, restaurants, small industries and whatnot. And then lastly, for BRIN, we will retain and maintain BRIN, but we will have a tweak to BRIN whereby it is given out on conditions. We call it conditional cash transfer. This is something that is popularly practiced in many developed countries, so that we want to incentivize BRIN receivers to do something positive for themselves in exchange for having access to BRIN. So for example, the details you can read in the budget itself. So those who, let's say, are capable of working, we will ask them to work for a minimum period of 3 months before they are eligible to receive BRIN, as an example. For those who are not capable of working, for example, the old as well as those who are the OKUs, they don't need to fulfill the same conditions for having access to BRIN. But we also have a condition whereby we want to restrict the spending of BRIN money to prevent it from being spent on frivolous and non-essential items. We want to make sure that it's being spent for items which can benefit the family and not be spent on things like cigarettes and things that are not beneficial to the larger family.
Okay, we come now to the last segment, which is the government finance reform. One of the primary issue in Pakatan Harapan is because we have two state governments. Well, we used to, in Pakatan Raya, we had 3 lah. At one point we had 4. We understand the concept of federalism in Malaysia historically has been smashed to pieces, the concept of federalism. So we are committed to revenue sharing with states. The most important thing is internally generated revenue. Some fair, equitable numbers should be given back to these state governments so that they can run their own domestic and local expenditure. Yeah? For the issue of Sabah Sarawak, we are committed to the agreement, the Malaysia agreement, and that these all will require an understanding, especially on issues about oil royalty and stuff. I'll deal with Sabah Sarawak slightly below later. Yeah, but we need an understanding that we must push for a federalism in the true sense, closer to something that is practiced in Australia, per se. Yeah? We are also very aware of the importance of health and also education. So the budget cuts for health and education that we suffered last year, 300 million for health. You know, you have heard so many stories about the government having not enough hospitals, not enough equipment to do certain blood tests. Yeah? And the 2 billion cuts on public university, all those will be restored back. In addition to everything else, we are committed to give a 700 million injection to a variety of schools in Malaysia, primarily because facilities for these schools are sometimes dangerous and also clearly inadequate, as in the case in the Tafi school fire recently. Yeah? Now lastly, we are proposing a new deal for Sabah and Sarawak. The political manifesto team, and this is very important to stress, the political manifesto team is working hard with Sabah and Sarawak, but we are already committed to the idea that the oil royalties at 20% must be returned back to Sabah and Sarawak. And also actually Terengganu and Kelantan as well. Yeah? So oil royalties are the issue that we always fight for, and we will maintain that position. And lastly, Sabah and Sarawak will be receiving a big chunk of the development spending. On paper, we are estimating close to about 15 billion a year of development spending will be directed to Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah? So that basically wraps up the highlights of the budget. The budget is long, and you know, we will For all four of us will entertain media if you want to ask us further questions later. But for the time being, we're going to now open up to Q&A. So if you do have any questions or anything that needs clarification, this is the time. Yeah, only for the media. Members of Parliament, sorry.
No debate lah.
No debate.
Bawa dalam Dewan.
Bawa dalam Dewan.
Bawa dalam
Like that
Dewan.
one lah.
Datuk Fauzi, very happy lah. You can tell your wife, your low for. Good news.
No more
Yes.
low
Low. You have a question from the media? Yes, please. Well, it is always a process. It's a good question. We are absolutely certain about the estimates. Yeah, we know it's 20 billion. The formula to do this, you can see from the PMD department is actually inflated. But there's an actual formula to do this. The formula is we know the budget is about 270 billion a year, right? If you take out emoluments, which is about 70 billion a year, and then the payment for banks, which is something that is not corruptible, right? Yeah, and other fixed charges, that's another 40 billion per se. Yeah? So you have an element that is corruptible or full of wastage, close to about 160 billion a year. Yeah? From all the Auditor General reports that we get 2 to 3 times a year, yeah? In the last 4 or 5 years, we have picked and selected and did the mathematics that the wastage and corruption is close to 10 to 15%. And that works out on a conservative level 20 billion. So the number is that. Now how do you fight corruption? Let's just remember what Abdullah Badawi did. When he first came to power, you saw corruption drop immediately. It was very simple. He charged a couple of deputy ministers. Yeah? Pakatan Harapan is absolutely committed to fighting corruption. We believe by pursuing 1MDB and finding closure on that matter, we will send the correct message and you will see suddenly all these savings coming through the system. We do admit some of these concessions, lopsided concessions, may take some time to unwind. We need to study the OSA document. Yeah? We need to publish all these documents in fact. But we are certain getting the right culture in place will eliminate this 20 billion. It may not take a year. It may take maybe 1.5 years, 2 years. But we will start the process. And once you see this, the fiscal position of the country will improve greatly.
If I may add, going by our performance in Selangor and Penang, on average, yeah, the saving is about 15 to 20% on all a transaction that involve procurement and whatnot. So this is not just hypothetical; it is proven, and we have performed and we have delivered on that. Thank you.
Can you, in regards to your targeted fuel subsidy, can you define the CC number?
1000 cc. 1000 cc and below.
1.0.
Yes.
So in that case, how do you intend to deal with premium cars with small CC? For example, 1.0 you have Ford Fiesta.
Okay, well that's quite simple. If you are doing 1000 cc, right, you can see out of 100 cars, the so-called premium, I don't think Ford Fiesta is a premium car, but let's assume that it's a premium car, right?
It costs for about almost 100K for Fiesta?
Right, I'm not a car expert, but I think that 1000 cc, you have to talk about balance between finding a system that is easy to implement and also the exceptions of maybe a premium car. You could possibly have a BMW 1000 cc or below, right? But that represents a very small percentage. Yeah? The issue is how do you implement a system that is simple, that can try to capture at least 95% of it. Yeah? So it's an implementation issue. We, as a government, we are committed to look at data and to try and implement the simplest system that captures the bulk of it. I cannot guarantee if you Ford Fiesta or even a BMW below 1000 cc or whatever it is, but it is obvious that you have to start somewhere.
What about Myvi? The lowest Myvi right now is 1.3. The only 1.0 yang saya tahu is Axia. So
we are committed to making sure that the B40 is taken care of. So the implementation details for what we have now in the budget stands at for motorcycles as well as those for driving 1000cc and below.
Okay, so the PMD budget, in fact, in 2015 hit a high of 20 billion. Yeah, when they ran out of money because the oil crashed in 2016, they slashed it down to 15. You know from that simple arithmetic that most of the spending is completely discretionary. Yeah, this country is now a presidential system where the Prime Minister has his tentacles in everything. Yesterday, MAFCOM, you know. Today, the debate of the Maritime Agency under his Prime Minister Department. There are so many overlapping ministerial powers that he's got his hands in everything that we have to dismantle. If you want specific on where we're going to cut this budget from, you have to start from a simple question. What is the role of the Prime Minister? The role of the Prime Minister is to manage his cabinet, to tell his Minister of Transport to do his job and just monitor him. I don't think you need a budget of 20 billion to do management of cabinet. We know everything that he does, the expansion of the budget you track from 2010 is too much. If Dr. Mahathir, yeah, a strong authoritative Prime Minister, can manage on 8 billion today's value. Yeah, in 2002 his budget was 5 billion. We do a time value calculation, it's 8 billion today. We are certain that the new Prime Minister in Pakatan Harapan can also manage with 8 billion. Wait, what section are you, what page are you referring to?
Pro-business policies. Yeah, the English version, page 56.
56 again. So you're asking the question regarding? Okay, yeah. So what this policy is very simple. Now, I have to make it very clear to you all. The pro-business policy that we talk about, yeah, has to be read in context with the entire 3-4 paragraph there. Okay? That's the first thing. We are going to fight for wages to increase. Yeah? We're going to start with minimum wage and we propose a co-pay system. Right? But we also recognize to be a developed country, wages need to pick up. And to do that, we're going to let the market dictate it by freeing up ILO standards. When you do that, there will be more wage renegotiations or negotiations across the board. If we find that the employers are suffering and cannot deal with this, we will do tax breaks for them. But the key is this. We are committed to anti-corruption, no wastage, a simple, clean government. We need to build up our finances, we need to build up our reserves, right? So all these ILO policies that we'll carry out within this 5 years, it will be next year, is a transition process. We need to build up our war chest so that we can then engage the employers and say, look, is this too much for you? Right? Because we don't want to scare away business. We are pro-business in some extent. We are committed to business activities, but we are also committed to fair, equal distribution to people, to the poor. So if the businesses are suffering, we have, say, 10, 20 billion in reserve, we can talk about tax breaks for them to ease the burden, because what we really want to do is this. We want to start a cycle, a virtuous cycle of economic cycle, where people have higher wages, they consume more, businesses get back their profits. Yeah? That transition can be quite painful. But we have seen every country in the world, when they transition from a third world country to a first world country, South Korea, if you remember in the 80s and 90s, is a classic example. The pain needs to be done. Our job is to maintain a peaceful and careful transition. I hope that answers your question.
If I may add, for those Malaysian companies involved in the fourth industrial revolution, we will incentivize them by having the corporate income tax of 15%. That is to compete with Singapore and to not allow our Malaysian companies, especially the big boys, to migrate. That is an incentive. Those involved in fourth industrial revolution kind of activities. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Yes.
Is this a populist budget? Because you're looking at abolishing tolls, you're doing away with GST, and you're saying that you're keeping on green. Where else do you guys have a practical budget?
Okay. Let me answer that question for you. For the 2018 budget, right? When we talk about 1 year projection, the budget is extremely realistic. If you see our numbers in the tail of the tape, so to speak, we are projecting a 2% deficit. The government is projecting a 2.9% deficit. Yeah? Likely. Yeah? We don't know. Next 2 days, I think that's what the rumor that we've heard. So it is not a populist budget. It is really a transition budget. The economic policies in the middle section is something that we would like to implement within 5 years. If we win the when we win, not if we win, when we win GE40, yeah, we will have 5 years to implement those things. Now I'm telling you, they're not populist, because what is fundamentally wrong with the country today is that wages are too low, capital flight is intense, brain drain is killing the economy. Now, we cannot hire good people. You ask like Axiata, AirAsia, all the big corporations, they tell you the same story. So how is this a populist budget? It is a self-repairing, save our country, if you like Trump, right? And rebuilding our country budget. It is not populist. It may sound populist to you, but there are fundamental economic reasons why we pursue certain things, to put back more money into people's hands, to bring down the cost of living, to make sure good public transport. All those are essential. The key element is this: we are committed to eliminating wastage and corruption, and that is how we're going to pay for all these things that we promise.
I would answer that question by saying that this is a progressive budget, not a populist budget.
Thank you very much, members of the media. Thank you.
One time. Before you all go, you forget.